Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode 71 of the Hrudai podcast. In this inspiring episode, we are joined by Rashmi ma'am from South Bangalore, an MBA graduate who spent 5 years in the corporate world before stepping into the path of ancient Vedic knowledge. Since 2016, she has been deeply researching spirituality through the lens of the Vedas, and for the past 4 years, she has been guiding people through online and offline Vedic meditation practices. So let's bring in Rashmi ma'am on screen. Hello
Yes.
ma'am, welcome to the Hrudai Chetan podcast.
Yes, welcome. I'm grateful to you for welcoming me. I'm happy to be on your show. I'm happy to express my learnings of Vedic knowledge to your viewers. And I hope it's meaningful, fruitful, and they find some purpose, understanding of the real Vedic knowledge through your show. I'm happy that you are at such a young age, you're doing something like this to spread the real knowledge. Yes, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, I am very excited to learn more about Vedas and spirituality in depth in today's episode. Likewise, I think and I hope that audience are also connected with this knowledge and also want to learn and upgrade their skills in spirituality, right? So let's begin this conversation and go in depth, right? So now tell me more about your childhood, ma'am. A favorite memorable moment that you could think of.
Yes, my childhood, it was mostly filled with, being by myself in the sense I was okay being by myself. Even as a child, I did not have this yearning to be amongst a lot of group, or I didn't want attention in that sense. Some kids want to be in the limelight or something. So I was happy being in the background. I was happy being by myself. I enjoyed my own company, and yes, and also a little later on, even when I did have friends, it was all about play. I grew up mostly in my neighbor's house than in my own house. I was, eating, sleeping, playing, everything there only. So I was more of an outsider. I mean, being outside the house than inside the house. And and then a little later on, when I was introduced into all these Vedic stories by one's mother, from Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a lot of beautiful stories. I was introduced into all those stories, and I had this deep wanting to go to God. That was my thing. I had no idea about God, but I just wanted to go to God. And I was a regular temple visitor. Now I've understood what is the difference between religion and spirituality. But then I was more into, all these, whatever was introduced was around me. I was more of a temple visitor. And then I don't know, I just started telling that, I want moksha, like that. Then I think I'm very grateful that the multiverse heard me somewhere, and that seeking has brought me into the spiritual realm. Actually, very grateful for that. Yes.
Wow, amazing. As you said that later on, I understood the difference between religion and spirituality. Yes, I agree
Yes.
because most people have this wrong assumption, wrong opinion about
Yes.
religion and spirituality. So, can you tell us more about this difference?
Yes. Yes. Very much. See, religion is a made-up thing by man. It is a man-made concept which was introduced in Kali Yuga for political agendas, you could say. Whoever is ruling this Kali Yuga is King Kali. So we think who's ruling us is the government.
Mm-hmm.
But in actual Vedic sense, this is Kali Yuga. If you know, I am sure people know of the four yugas. I don't want to go into the details of Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga. We are in Kali Yuga, and the king, the ruler of this Yuga is Kali.
Mm-hmm.
And as for his agendas, he has to rule us right now. How will he rule us? By making us dumb. Like Kali has his own agenda of spreading ignorance.
Right.
He wants to spread ignorance and keep us dumb. So then it is easy for him to rule us and we be slaves to him.
Mm-hmm.
So for that political agendas, like various people are, even the governments, they for their thing, they've come up with various religions.
Mm-hmm.
But spirituality has got nothing to do with current day religion, because if at all religion had to do with God, it is supposed to take us towards that path, right? Take us towards closer to divine, closer, whatever name you can give, Paramatma, divine, supreme force, any name you can give, but it is supposed to take us and make us go closer to Him. But all that is happening is we are all fighting. We are in this fighting zone. So fighting and is also a trademark of Kali Yuga because of ignorance. So the main difference I see is this only: spirituality has the word spirit in it.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I have learned, it has spirit in it. It has got to do with the spirit, the Jivatma. So, and for that, it is a connection between you and Paramatma alone. So, how that in that journey, there should be a seeking from the spirit itself. That's why they say spirit of inquiry, right? There should be a spirit of inquiry. So, the spirit naturally has this wanting to know. Every spirit has certain questions when they come, who am I? Everybody will have this question: who am I? What am I? Where am I? What is all this? Like, this question that comes up. Even children ask these questions. So, because that is the nature of the spirit, to know. It has that spirit of inquiry. But in religion, what happens, from what I have experienced, because I was a temple going person myself. So, in that, you're just told to do certain things without real knowledge. And you're just accepting it without knowing. You're believing. So, what I have learned is belief has the word lie in it. Belief. It has the word lie in it. So, you are just believing without knowing. But in spirituality, you end up experiencing things. There's a connection that happens that comes from knowing. The two different things. So, that is why, be it any religion, there are various religions which have come up. They have all taken some bits and parts from Vedic, from the real eternal knowledge. They have taken some bits and parts and added their own things for their own conveniences. So everything seems right in the beginning. All religions seem okay. This seems right because they've taken some little bits and parts of the truth. And then after you get into it in depth, then you realize this is also not correct. This doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right, because there are some made up things also in it. So, yeah, and then you realize, okay, spirituality is something very different, actually. It is got to do with life and how to get out of this cycle of birth and death. So, it has got something to do with deeper things.
Beautiful,
Yes.
amazing, no differentiation that you gave from your experience that you have faced in your life, right? So when you gave this, right, believing that there is lie in it, I've never thought of it. I've never, I've written it, but I've never focused on what it has, right, in that word. But it was amazing, right? Thank you so
Yes, so
much
that
for that.
yes, that is also one more thing I have learned, that all these words, the meaning is in the word itself. That is the secret that I have learned. That, yeah, that's why this is called the age of Aquarius, where they say it is the age of knowing, not believing. We should not believe anymore. We should know it by ourselves.
Mm. So, what was your passion as a child, and did you continue the same passion, or somewhere it broke and again you
Yes.
shifted to something else?
Yes, yes. As a child, yeah, you have your own fantasies and notions, which may not be based on reality. But yeah, I was very confused. I had no idea what to do actually. I was just going by whatever other people are telling around me, whatever my family members told me. I just kept doing that. Uh, uh, but then you start feeling empty. At some point you start feeling empty and hollow inside. You're not finding meaning, purpose. You're like you're getting to question, like, what am I doing in my life?
Yeah.
Like, this is not making sense to me. So that happened to me as well when I was in my corporate world. Then I was doing well there. It was not like this thing, but it had a lot of its own stress. Corporate world has its own stress, And I decided, no, this is not what I'm looking for, because it is not giving me that satisfaction. So then I decided, okay, no, I want to quit this and I want to take a break. So I took a break. Of childhood, yeah, I wanted to, you have all these fantasies, I want to be a spy, I want to be this, I want to be that. That is just something without any sense of ground reality. But then I did my dentistry, and then I worked also as a dentist for a year. Then after that, I did my MBA. I pursued my MBA. I was in the corporate life also, in the medical field as well as in the education field, training sector for 5 years. Then I decided I just wanted break, because I'm not able to figure out what is happening, because this is not making sense to me. And then when I took a break, that's when I had lots of time. Uh, in that time, I started with listening to my passion. The old passion came back again of listening to all these Vedic scriptures, like, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. So I got into all of that. And along with that, I was into other Vedic sciences like Ayurveda, Jyotish, numerology. Like there are many other Vedic sciences I was researching out of interest. It was intriguing me so much that I used to make notes. I used to write down. It was interesting me. It was so very interesting to me. And yeah, by in that way of research, I came across the real Vedic meditation. Like, because there are like umpteen number of meditations that have come up right now, like so many kinds of various meditation. But when I came across Vedic meditation, I was mind blown. I was like, wow, this is it. This is it. So, yes, then it felt like no looking back. Then I practiced it, and then I started training. From past 4 years, I've been teaching online and offline. And now my aim is to spread this knowledge, because this is something that everybody should know. So, yeah, that's how that's my journey in short.
Wonderful. So it takes so much of power to leave the corporate world and concentrate on spirituality in your life that you are satisfied in, right? So can you tell the audience that how important is it to be satisfied in life and not just run behind money?
Mm, Because I don't think that kind of this thing is necessary. I think life itself will give you that understanding at some point. Everybody will come through that breaking point. Like they say, you can stretch the rubber band only to a certain extent, then the
Right.
rubber band will break. So the limit of stretching, it will make you realize. I don't think I will have to tell. They themselves will understand. But the point is, we are a triangle of body, mind, spirit. And we are the spirit. So we are giving food to the body. You're nourishing your mind through knowledge, but you need something for the spirit. You need to give food to the spirit as well. So what is that food for the spirit? If you're not giving that, then you will always feel empty. There will come a point when people will start feeling empty and hollow. It will not make meaning and sense to them. People will go through a lot of trauma, confusion, suffering, all that, whatever people experience right now is that only, the result of that only. So this is what I have learned, that this food for the spirit is, it wants to go higher. That is what it is always yearning for. It is wants to go to the source. It wants to go back to the source. There's something very beautiful I want to share that I've learned is all the five elements, Panch Mahabhut, earth, water, fire, air, and space, they are all going to its source. The fire is always burning upwards because it is going to its source, the sun. Sun is the original, that's fire. And the air, like, if you put a hot air balloon, it always goes up, right? Because it is going to its source, Akash. Water is, the river is always flowing to its source. It is going to its destination, the ocean. And matter, any matter, like, if I drop this pen, it is going towards its source, earth.
Yeah.
All matter is coming from earth. So it is going towards its source, the earth.
Mm.
right? So, like that, I think the spirit also should go to its source.
Mm.
So, what is our source? Like we are Jivatma who has come from Paramatma. So, the yearning for the spirit is always to go towards the source, which we haven't realized. We are thinking that this is going to give me happiness. That is, we are doing this trial and error method. This in this trial and error, we are going to relationships, money, whatever, power, position, fame, many things. But eventually, it is looking to go to its source, which is the source of happiness, peace, everything. You know, well-being is all that source. So yeah.
So now, what is the biggest, misunderstanding people today have about spirituality?
Mm, there are many things, but if I could say one of the biggest thing is people think spirituality is not for the young. It
Mm.
is after 60 years. That is what generally people think.
Mm.
And but if they say life is a preparation for afterlife.
Yeah.
Life is the whole life is meant to be a preparation for your death.
Mm.
But if you're going to start your preparation after 60, you're not going to definitely pass. Forget passing, you will not even get two
Mm.
marks in that exam. So yeah, that's one of the biggest misconception is people think it has to be it is not for the young age.
Mm.
But in Vedic times, in 5,000 years ago, when there were gurukuls, real gurukuls and rishikuls, they used to send their children for gurukuls at after 5, like 6, 7 years. So spirituality began at that age.
Mm.
So only then you can truly get into spirituality, truly know what is the purpose of life. Basically, spirituality is to know what is your purpose of life. What are you supposed to do? And spirituality will take you like in the gurukuls they taught you everything that you are supposed to know individually. Like they will not give the education like this same education for everyone.
Mm.
What's customized for your spirit, whatever you need to know, whatever you at whatever level you are, whatever deservingness you have, that much they will give you, and they will tell you everything so that you don't get into trouble in the universe,
Mm.
even in your afterlife. So that is the beauty of Vedic education that I found.
Absolutely. So when
Yes.
I got into spirituality, right, 1 year back and learned about the spirituality, I was falling in love with the spirituality, right? Because I always believe, I would believe in God, the universe, right? So because of that, I thought of jumping into this spirituality world and knowing about it in depth. My personality changed somehow. I don't know how, but when I look at that perspective of life, it completely changes your mindset, what you believe, what you think, what you feel, what you take action. It's completely changes, right?
Yes. Yes, very true, very true. Because it is a higher knowledge that comes,
Yeah,
not just superficial things that the society tells you.
yeah. As you said, it's one of the most number one misconception that young people cannot start it, right?
Yes,
Not for
yes,
young people. So
yes,
it should
yes.
start from young people and then go ahead to adult.
Yes, only then you will have the foundation.
Yeah.
Yes, very true. And also another big misconception is people think Hinduism and Vedic is the same.
Um,
Like or religion for that matter, I would say we'll put all religions in one bracket, so they would think religion and spirituality is the same, so that is also one of the big misconceptions. Yeah,
right.
I think I've already spoken about that.
Yeah. So, what was the first ancient Vedic teaching that completely changed your perspective on life?
Sorry, I just have to, yeah. So I would say when I came across the fact that the consciousness, or what they say is when I learned that who am I,
Mm.
that itself was a big thing for me. Like whenever you are asked to introduce, you introduce your name, and you say, my who are you? They say, okay, my name, I'm Rashmi, and I am so and so, I'm this profession, I live here. So you are identifying yourself with all these things. But when I learned that I am a being, I am the spirit, and I am not the name, I've been identifying with the wrong things. I'm identifying myself with my family, my gender, my nationality, my whatever rituals that I'm doing, or whatever things that I'm doing. But I am not any of that. It's a very deep thing to even realize at the superficial level. At first, I did not even get it. But then as I went on, I realized even before you call yourself as a human being, I am a being. Even before you get to the human being part of it, like I am a Jivatma, that was something, yeah, that was something very deep that changed me. And also the fact that I haven't prepared for my death. Like I've already spent so much X number of years already, but I know nothing about myself, and I've not done any preparations for it. So that is what, when I realized, okay, this is something I really need to act on.
Now, what are Vedas?
See, Ved is, yeah, it is Ved, not Vedas, because from the Sanskrit perspective, it is Ved. So Ved are sonic codes, they are sound codes. So it is not like what people are thinking, like it is like a book. It is not like a book that you read from left to right. I know you read from left to right, you read it like a paragraph, and and you make sense out of it. Ved is not like that. There are sound codes which can be decoded by higher beings, not for people like us, the common man. Only they can decode that, and they can, it is meant for them. For what we are trying to decode it like a book, but we cannot decode it by reading it like a book. That is the point. So that is why there's a lot of interpretations by many people, but still we haven't figured out what it exactly is. But what it is saying, from what I have learned and understood, is there are three main Veds: Rigved, Yajurved, and Samved. Rigved is about the five elements. Five elements, it's about Vayu, Agni, Varun. It's all praising. There are hymns and praises to these elements. Varun Dev, Vayu Dev, Agni Dev, their law, Mitra, sun god Mitra, then Indra, the king of all the devas. So it is hymns and praises to these elements. And Samved is about rituals for Yajurved. I apologize. Yajurved is practices and rituals meant for these elements that you do for these five elements, the elemental gods, the devas. And Samved is related to sound and music. It is got related to the sound and music, again related to the elements. This word Sangeet, this is something very beautiful that I have learned. The word Sangeet also is beginning with Sa, because it is coming from Samved. Sam, Sa. So even Saregamapa begins with Sa. So all that is Sa, because it is coming from Samved. And Sangeet is that real Sangeet. I'm not talking about this Bollywood, Hollywood type of music, but real Sangeet is that which, when played in nature, nature gives a response. It is played in nature, for nature, and a response by nature. That is real Sangeet. You would have heard Tansen used to play and then rain used to happen. So yeah, that kind of music where nature and the elements respond to music, that is real Sangeet. So all these has got to do with the elements, the five elements basically, which is what we have forgotten. When we tell we are Vedic, it means we are supposed to have a connection with the five elements and the Prakriti, nature. That we have completely cut ourselves off in religion. In religion, we are not telling people to connect with nature because in the Vedic times, there were no temples. This is another big thing that I got to know. I was very surprised to know that there were no temples in. I was a temple going person earlier, like I said, and when I realized that even now, if you Google, you will find you will find that there were no temples in Vedic times. They did nature worship. They only worshipped nature, Prakriti and the five elements, the sun, moon. They worshipped everything in nature. But there were no temples, or people did not go to a specific place and they did not do any kind of idol worship or anything like that. So in that is everything that the Ved is telling. If you're calling yourself Vedic, we are supposed to have that connection with nature first before you get into any kind of other kind of worship. So that is what the Vedic texts are telling very clearly. If you are not doing first to Bhudevi itself, we are on earth with Bhulok. We are in Bhulok, right? And we are not having any connection with Bhudevi at all. We are not touching our bare feet on the ground at all. We are wearing, in the house, we have tiles. Outside, there is tar. We are wearing slippers in other places. So we are not touching earth itself. So we are not having a connection with earth itself. So where is that? How can we have connection with other higher deities like Shiv, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Kali, Durga? We are doing all this worship, but we are not having this basic connection with the elements first. So the Vedic texts are telling without having connection with Bhudevi, the other deities will not partake or accept your offering.
Yeah.
So that is why people, they say, I did so much, nothing happened. I did that, nothing happened. This also I did, that also I did. I did this puja, that puja. But you're not doing the basic things. So Vedic first teaches you the basics, which is the basis. Basics means it is laying a foundation, the basis. So that foundation we have lost.
Right.
So that is one another big thing that I find difference between religion and spirituality is religion is not teaching that.
Yeah.
Religion is taking you directly into some very high level thing which you cannot build a house without foundation. So without building the foundation, they're going to some third floor, fifth floor, which is not going to give you any fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did the rishis view human life differently from the way modern society views it today?
Rishis, first of all, knew what our position human life is meant for. When you're saying you using the word human life, so they knew the why is the spirit coming taking birth on earth as a human in the first place. So the reason they knew that first. When you go to Switzerland, you're going there with some purpose. Or you go travel somewhere, XYZ place, you're going with some purpose. So if the spirit has come here, it has come with some purpose only. So the rishis first knew that and they addressed that. They did not go into any other thing except addressing that. So the reason why all of us have taken birth here is firstly, there was a point in time in history of this universe, multiverse, whatever you want to call, that all of us were in the higher realms. But at some point, we broke the multiversal laws. There is something called as Brahmand Niyam, multiversal laws, which we did not follow. So when you do not follow the law, where are you sent? When you break a law, where are you sent? You're sent to jail, right?
Yeah.
Sent to a prison.
Yeah.
So this earth itself is a prison. If you see the Krishna avatar, Krishna was born straight into the prison, right?
Yeah.
He was born inside a prison, straight in the prison. And when he was born, all the prison doors opened. If you've heard the story, all the doors open and he comes out. So that is a metaphorical meaning. So all Vedic stories have metaphorical meanings. Deeper meaning. The deeper meaning of that is he, through his own will, entered this prison realm. This Bhulok is called like a prison realm. I will tell you why it is called a prison realm. So when Krishna was born directly into the prison, that means he has come into this earth realm, into this prison, but he has the knowledge of how to get out of the prison. So the prison
Mm.
doors open. That is the metaphorical meaning. So the reason why this is called as the prison realm is because, prison has bars, right?
Yeah.
Prison bars. Now we are not seeing the prison bar because it's not visible to us. So we think I'm in my house or I'm not in any jail. But then who are we? We are the spirit, right? Where is the spirit? The spirit is in this rib cage.
Mm.
It is called a cage. You
Yeah.
know how the rib cage is? It is like bars
Yes.
only.
Yeah.
Exactly. The spirit is caged inside this rib cage in this body. We don't have the knowledge or the know-how of how to come out of this body. So we are caged only. We are in the prison, in the body. That is one kind of prison because the spirit cannot come out. But like if a higher being comes, they can come out of this body even while being alive. They have the knowledge, but we don't have the knowledge. So we are trapped here. The second prison is this earth realm itself is a prison. There is like if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, it gives Vedic cosmology. How the Brahmand is designed. So in that very clearly it says the earth is like a flat plane. It is not like a globe like how they show in, what we learn in geography and how what the Google map satellite shows it. The earth is not like that. So earth is like this flat plane and it has a dome on top of it. It's called a firmament. You can type, Google it. It is, your viewers can do more research. It's called firmament. So it is a frequency barrier. Nobody can go out of this earth realm like that, just like that. So that is also another thing. No, I cannot go to Swarg. I cannot go to the higher realms. I cannot go meet Brahma. Like I cannot leave this earth plane realm at all. So that is a second kind of prison. So yeah, and then we are the prisoners of our mind. We put our own prison, limitations in our mind and become prisoners of the mind. That's another kind of prison. So rishis firstly knew that we are in a prison plane. So the purpose, and we have got stuck here. We are in this cycle of birth and death. We are going, dying, and coming back again because we are not learning the lesson. The reason why a prisoner is sent to prison is to reform himself. Once you reform, then you're a changed person, and then you're allowed to go to higher realms. So until you learn that, you're sent back. You're in the reincarnation cycle. What they call moksha is nothing but getting out of the cycle of birth and death. So the rishis knew the human life is meant for getting out of that. So all the training they gave was for that, so that you don't come back. Vedic is about life and death matters. Like, you live successfully, that means you prepare for death, and you die successfully, meaning you don't come back here. You don't come back into this cycle of birth and death. That is dying successfully. So whatever education is needed for that, the rishis gave that. So they viewed human life as it is meant for spiritual evolution. Spiritual evolution. The word is spiritual evolution, meaning the spirit has to evolve higher. So whatever for that is needed, the education, the psychological clear sorting psychology, your behavioral training, all that is given. That is how they viewed, and they did not bother. Like, if you go to an astrologer right now, they will, people will ask questions like, when will I get married? When will I have children? When will I build a house? When will I get lots of money? When will I get a job? A rishi will not address those questions. A rishi will, will not even look at you for those questions. They are only concerned about your spiritual evolution.
So, why were ancient civilizations able to create mentally strong, disciplined, and peaceful humans without modern psychology?
Yes, that's a good question. See, that is because modern psychology is, I would say, they are, from what I have learned, is they are totally in the dark themselves. They have no idea about the mind. Psychology is about the mind, right? And you cannot see the mind. You cannot see the mind and you don't know what is happening in the mind. So it is an unknown zone. And every theory that they have come up with is based on some assumption, some theory, some, you're like kind of, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಊಹಾಪೋಹ ಅಂತ.
mm, mm,
Uha-poha. That means guesswork. You're doing some speculation and guesswork. Like this
mm,
could be that, it could be that, but it is not the ground reality, because in the mind anything can happen. And in such a case, it is not easy for you to prescribe anything or do anything. But what the Vedic times education did was, they did not focus on the mind, they focused on the body.
mm,
Because the way to control the mind, that is where meditation comes into the picture. The word, okay, I'll come to that later, but the way to control the mind is through the body. That is precisely why they have sent us with the body. They did not send us just with the mind and spirit. They have sent us with this body, because this body is a tool that you have to use to do right actions and evolve the spirit. You cannot do that with the mind. If I think in my mind, okay, I want to eat paisa, just by thinking, the paisa will not become
yeah,
ready, right? I have to physically use my body, go to the kitchen, put on the stove, put the ingredients and cook it. So I
mm,
have to use my body. So karma or action is done only with the body, not with the mind.
mm,
In today's psychology, people are giving too much attention and focus on the mind, and all the energy, like they say, attention goes where energy flows where attention goes.
mm, mm,
So they're putting their attention on something that they have no idea.
mm,
So the discipline, why they are able to do the discipline in the Vedic times, is because they're using the body. Using the body, you can do disciplines and discipline the mind as well. Because if you put water in a vessel, the water is going to take the shape of the vessel, right? Whatever shape of the vessel is, the water is that. Exactly. The body is the vessel and mind is the water.
mm.
However you treat your body, however you discipline your body, your mind will be like that. As simple as that. So the focus is always on the body, because the body is given precisely for that reason. So they use the body to do three kinds of disciplines. That is where, I will discuss that when we speak about Tantra. Like if we get into the world of Tantra, that is what it is about. How you discipline yourself using the body.
Right. So, what daily practices made the minds of ancient seekers so powerful and clear?
Yes, clarity. Yes, that's a very good question. We all lack clarity in these times, right? Clarity, something is missing. Clarity comes from stillness, right? When is the lake clear? The lake is clear when it is still.
Yeah.
So when is it that when we are still? When do you think we are still? When we are centered. When we are centered, when you're absolutely stillness comes from centering. And that is nothing but meditation. Even the word meditation comes, the meaning is in the word itself. In Sanskrit, the word madhya means center, middle. In Latin, that became median. Mean, median, mode, you have studied in maths or statistics. Median is that middle number you choose. Median in Latin means middle. That in English became medi.
Mm,
Medi is again middle center. So meditation is nothing but centeration as per Vedic. This is the original, meaning of meditation and what meditation is. So you have to bring your body to the center.
mm,
When you bring your body to the center, your mind will automatically be centered and balanced. Centering is nothing but balancing, right? There's a two scales, left and right are balanced. The needle comes to the center.
yeah, correct.
Same way. That's the same thing, same analogy. So the body is designed that way. We have to learn how this body is designed so that we utilize it properly.
Mm,
So the clarity that you're talking about is coming from that centering. When there is stillness, there is clarity. And when higher knowledge. Only then you will get higher knowledge, which will bring more clarity from the multiverse or the higher gurus or rishis, whoever is imparting the knowledge. That is when you get that clarity, because this everything that is necessary for evolution is also placed in the center. You know, all the chakras,
Yeah.
the Sushumna Nadi, the central Nadi, the spine, which is the most important in spirituality. The Kundalini, if when it rises in the center. The chakras, the third eye is in the center. The pineal gland is in the center. The Brahmarandra, where we communicate with the universe here. This space is where we, the Brahmarandra. Everything is placed in the center, because evolution happens in the center. And that is what the rishis taught. And when that discipline is practiced from a young age, there will be psychological sorting, there will be behavioral sorting, there will be attitude sorting, there will be clarity, there will be resonance with the satya, the multiversal truths, the pure principles. There will be clarity of every kind. Like, there is no confusion like how we have confusion about even the simplest things. Yeah. So yes, this practice is what brings clarity.
Wow. So, what does self-realization truly mean in practical terms?
See, self-realization, people think it is some very big thing, like, if I, if I get into, uh, something, I will realize I'm this and that, and, I will suddenly, something will happen to me. But self-realization, more than that, you have to first realize the self is a being, that I am a being. That itself is one big realization, that I am a being. And what is it that I want? I want my well-being. That itself is a big self-realization. And where am I? I'm in the universe. The multiverse has laws, and I choose. I have to align with these laws. I want to align with these laws. This itself is one big realization. And after that, any other kind of realization, you will get only through centering. The more we center ourselves, the more knowledge comes into us about truth, about reality, about ourselves. Like, we have many questions, right, that comes up. What is this? What is that? So in modern education, you're encouraged to ask questions. They say, teacher will tell, if you have any doubts, you can ask me questions. In Vedic times, the guru never said you can ask me questions. They said you do centering and you get your answer. That is the method. Like, you don't, if you're coming and asking questions, it means that you've not done the discipline of centering. Because they say centering brings realization. Right. So when you do the practice of centering your body, breath, and speech, through that, automatically, by default, all kinds of realization happens. Whatever needs to happen. So yeah, that is how the process of realization happens too.
In what ways has modern society disconnected humans from their natural intelligence?
Modern society, yeah, that's also a very good question you asked. It is by disconnecting from nature.
Okay.
Because from the 5 elements in nature comes the 5 senses, right? From earth, you get the sense of smell. From water, you get the sense of taste. From fire, you get the sense of sight. From air, you get the sense of touch. And from sky element, you get the sense of sound. Right? So you're getting the 5 senses from the 5 elements. And the 5 senses are called Gnanendriya. Okay. Gnanendriya, which means you're getting Gnana from the 5 senses. You're getting wisdom and intelligence from the 5 senses. That is why when they say there is no common sense, they say, right, we don't have common sense. That common sense is nothing but natural sense, which is coming from nature, which is the 5 elements, which is giving you through the 5 senses. So by disconnecting from nature, the 5 elements, we have been cut off from sense, intelligence, knowledge, and wisdom, everything. So the Vedic is always telling, when you cut yourself off from nature and divine, the first thing that you lose is sense. So that is why all of us are nonsensically behaving, because we are not connected with nature. So Vedic and the scriptures are always reminding us to connect with nature. That is the first step. The first step in Vedic and spirituality is to connect with nature. Without connecting with the five elements, we cannot progress 1 millimeter in anything for real.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
Yes.
that is, and yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, you can tell, ma'am.
No, I said the one, to give one example, I would say the one example modern society has introduced is shoes, slippers.
Mm.
I mean, I am not against wearing slippers or footwear. We have to wear, but where it is not necessary, we need not wear also. We are disconnecting from the earth by, where there is real mud and grass. There we have to ground our bare feet.
Yes.
So one is shoes and slippers, which is disconnecting us from the earth element.
Mm.
Then we have beds, sofas, chairs. That is making our posture go bad.
Mm.
If you see, all our posture is like this.
Yeah.
If you sit in a chair, sofa, it's all sinking like this.
Yes.
So you're made to sit on the floor in Vedic times. In this cross-legged position, we are made to sit to keep the posture straight.
Correct.
So they've introduced that, and they've introduced watches, ties. Wearing a watch is not good for your heart, because here your pulse comes here, right?
Yeah.
Pulse is nothing but your heartbeat.
Yes.
And on top of that, we are putting a watch which is a machine beat. It beats like a machine, right? Tick, tick, tick,
Yeah,
tick,
yeah.
tick, tick. That's how it beats. And watch is, I'm sorry, the pulse, the heartbeat has heart rate variability. It doesn't beat like that. Tick, 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 tick. The heartbeat beats with variability. Between the first beat and the second beat, if it takes 1 second, between the second beat and the third beat, it can take 0.3 seconds, 0.93 seconds, or 0.96 seconds, or 1.2 seconds. There'll be slight variations between the one beat and the next beat. There's always, that is why that ECG graph, you see like that. That variability, heart rate variability is there. So when you wear a watch, which is a machine beat, which is exact, it is a beating exact 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. That's how the machine is beating, the clock is beating. Now you're playing two songs. One is your natural organic heart rhythm, and then you have the machine beat, which is beating. It is like playing two songs at the same time. This song, machine beat, is going to interrupt with the heartbeat. And what the science say, Vedic science says, it is going to affect your immunity. This heart rate variability is responsible for our immune system. Immunity, because of that variability. It's organic. It's an organic beat. Now, when you put a machine beat on top of that heartbeat on your wrist, it is affecting the heart rate variability and that immune system. So there are a lot of things like, now there's a watch to measure the heart rate itself.
Yeah.
So they've come up with many kinds of watches. That's a different story. But there are many things that they've introduced. Like they've introduced the gym, which is like extreme for the body. Then they've introduced ties, like, you're wearing a tie. That is also not something very Vedic. Like it's like you're putting a collar for an animal or something like that. So those are all symbols of slavery, and which is all introduced in Kali Yuga only. It was not there in the Vedic times. So yeah, these are some of the things which take you away from natural intelligence, from being natural and organic. So
What is one ancient principle every family should bring back into their homes?
firstly, nature connect, of course. Like I said, everybody has to do nature connect. Everybody has to do grounding. They have to ground their body on Bhudevi, on earth. Like, the electrical equipments have that 3-pin plug.
Yeah.
The one pin is that earthing pin, where extra current goes into the earth so that the equipment doesn't get damaged. Same way, our body is electrical, like our heart, our brain, our nerves are all electrical in nature. So excess charge in us also has to be discharged to the earth. So every day, everybody has to ground their body. This is a must practice that we should all do, and it has many benefits. There are many research that has happened. There's a documentary that is there. Like many people in the West have got cured also. With many heart problems, many wounds. They all got healed just by earthing and grounding. It's like free of charge. You don't have to pay money for it. You just have to go to a park, stand on grass. That's all. So at least for 20 minutes, 15 minutes every day, at least minimum. So that is one practice we can do to develop some connection with the earth, Uday. Second thing that they can do is definitely watch some sunsets, some sky, earth, sky, connect with the elements in every way. If not sunrise, at least sunset. You can appreciate nature. Like you should learn to appreciate nature. To begin with, so that we will develop the intelligence and sense of appreciating real naturality, because we've lost that sense. Then we can also learn what real meditation is. Actual meditation is not being silent. Real meditation, Vedic meditation, the rishis always advocated speech, not silence. That is why they came up with japa, mantra, repetition. They repeatedly speak, because the universe is never silent. The universe creation itself began with sound. That Om symbol that they show right now. Yes. So from that sound, actually it is not Om, it is all the vowels, the Devanagari script. That sound is made up of all the vowels, A, I, O, everything. So from that sound itself, creation has happened. So they never advocated being silent. The more silent you are, the more thoughts come. So that the only way to control the mind is using the body, and most importantly, speech. So speaking the right things from the center of the mouth. When you center your breath, the speech also comes from the center of the mouth. That is why ucharan, diction was very important. So they can learn what is this, keeping the body posture straight, practice sitting on the floor, connection with nature, doing grounding, doing the centering practice, speaking from the center of the mouth. All these simple things they can always begin with.
Amazing. So, why do people today struggle so much with overthinking, anxiety, comparison, and emotional instability?
Yes, that is very true. Because, we have forgotten that we have a body. We are in the mental world all the time. When you're in the mental world all the time, all the stress, anxiety automatically happens, because there is a saying in English called use it or lose it. You would have heard use it or lose it. If what is given to you is not used correctly, you will lose it, right? So if we are constantly in the mental world right now, we are using so much of mobile, so much of doing laptop work. We're silent all the time, not using our body that much. There is a word called ground reality. Word of this, right? Ground reality or physical reality. Ground reality refers to the ground. Ground is earth, right? Earthiness, from which matter comes.
Right.
The physicality comes. So this body is the earth body. If you're not using this earth body properly in the way it is supposed to be used, then obviously all kinds of issues will crop up. That's the first thing. So we should first learn what is it that I have to do with this body. That itself we've not learned. I'm supposed to first learn, I have been given this body. What am I supposed to do with this body? How should I use this? That is the first thing to learn. The first thing to understand is there are three things that is expected of us as human beings. Three things all of us should do. First thing is take care of this body, my well-being through this body. We should not treat it like some rental car. We eat anything, do anything with this. Anything is okay with this. I'm like this also, I'm like that also. But we should know what is the dharma of this body. This body also has one dharma. So what is this? I have to know. The dharma of this body is to center this body
Correct.
properly. So first thing is take care of this body. Second thing is to do something for this survival in this world.
Mm.
That also should be as per multiversal laws. So I should learn what is multiversal law, what I should do to survive in this world, and how I deal with the other people. There are many beings. How will I deal with other people? How should I behave?
Mm.
Third is I have to do something for my spiritual evolution.
Right.
That is the main point, which we have forgotten. So if I'm not using my body to do these three things,
Mm.
then stress, anxiety, overthinking, everything will come up. And overthinking is also, you will find many females doing this overthinking.
Mm.
It is a trademark of the females mostly to overthink. Not that males don't, but females generally overthink.
Mm.
Right? That is because they are going more towards the left side of our body. Our body has, three channels, left, right, and center. Left is the Ida Nadi, the lunar side, moon side, the feminine side. The right side is the solar side, the masculine side, the Pingala Nadi. Yes. So if people are more inclined towards the feminine side of their self, be it a male or female, everyone will have, masculine, feminine energy. So if people are going towards more towards this left side, using more of the feminine thing, not the masculine thing, overthinking will happen.
Correct.
So usually you will see this in females who overthink. Generally that is a problem of the females, and they have to learn to balance themselves, use the body properly through centering practices. That is one reason for overthinking. And then you also mentioned what was the other thing you said? Emotional instability. Yes, emotional instability is also because of not centering and not grounding.
Mm.
Uh, like, when you're fluctuating between left and right, if somebody is more left inclined, they're very sensitive. They get upset easily, they cry easily, all that. If somebody is going more to the right, they get angry very quickly, they're hyperactive, they get violent, they fight, and that aspect comes up. But if you're centered, then it becomes balanced. So that is one way of reducing your emotional instability. And also grounding, like, when there is excess extra charge in your body because of this emotional instability, you
Mm.
ground yourself on the earth for some time. You become calm. You come, when the high tension wire drops on
Yeah.
earth, it becomes neutral, right? It becomes zero. Even when a lightning strikes, all that charge gets absorbed by earth.
Mm.
So it is so beautiful and so powerful, this grounding, that when you are very upset about something, either angry or emotional, something, you just go ground yourself. The Bhudevi just brings you to neutral state. That's the beauty, that she just brings you to neutral state. She's the real mother. The real mother is Bhudevi, right? The big mother who's providing everything for our sustenance and evolution here on earth is Bhudevi. So that's the beauty of that. Can
I mean,
come to a calm state by
yeah.
grounding and centering. That's very, very beautiful. From my own experience, I can tell that
Yeah.
you come to a neutral condition.
Wonderful, wonderful answer, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. So, audience, we have given you the best of the best, knowledge. You just need to take that into action and practice this every single day, right? And once you practice this, 7 days, just come back to this video, comment how did you feel, and you need to do this for lifetime. But 7 days, if you could do that and tell me how did you feel, so that we know that you at least practiced, right? So do this. So Tantra is highly misunderstood today. What is true Tantra according to ancient wisdom?
That's a very good question that you asked about Tantra. Tantra is totally misunderstood today as various things. Like, people understand it to be black magic. People understand has taken a sexual connotation. People have understood it as something very, very vague.
Mm.
But but because they are all taking it, all these texts, Sanskrit texts that have come in the medieval times in Kali, all this corruption and distortion have happened of the original thing. Again, like I said, the meaning is always there in the word.
Mm.
The secret is always in the word itself. And Tantra, again, the meaning is in Tan means body.
Mm.
That's it. Tanu. In Kannada, Tanu also means body. In Hindi, also Tanu means body. Tan means body. Tra means three.
Mm.
So, three discipline of the body is Tantra. The
Mm.
first one being body posture discipline. How you hold your body. There's something called body language, right?
Yes.
The body speaks. So, how are you communicating with your body? The rishis always saw that. They could
Mm.
tell more about you just by seeing you than your horoscope. Even without seeing the horoscope, they can tell you who you are. Just by seeing who you are as a being.
Mm.
One is body posture, how you keep your body posture. It has to be straight, centered, not sidey. In all three dimensions, it has to be centered.
Mm.
You should be like that. You should not be like, leaning backwards. You should not be left, right, like too up or too slouching. Like in all three dimensions, you have to be centered. It has to be humble. It has to be graceful. Many things in body language, body posture. Second one is most people don't know about this. This is the facial discipline.
Mm.
How are you keeping your face? That also should be centered.
Mm.
If you observe all these pictures of rishis, devatas, yogis, their face is always plain and centered. It's very plain and centered, including their eyeballs.
Mm.
Even eyeballs are centered.
Mm.
So I realized this that when you're investigating a criminal,
Mm.
when they do forensic investigation or something of criminal, they're observing. They're lying. They're seeing their eyeballs.
Mm.
If they're lying, their eyeballs are moving, or they're
Right.
blinking too much, or they're like they're observing how their eyes.
Mm.
So that is because whatever is happening in the mind, the eyeball is doing that.
Mm.
So you have to take control of your body. That is meditation. You take control of your body so that the whatever is happening in your mind is not seen on the face.
Mm.
So because the mind, many things happen. Like
Yeah.
all kinds of negativities also happens. The mind perturbations should not be shown on the face.
Mm.
I did something very interesting experiment once.
Mm.
I realized, when babies they cry,
Yeah.
when they're about to cry, they have a lot of dukkha inside. These
Yes.
toddlers, they want to cry. They're doing, they're going like that. They're contorting their face. They're about to cry like that. All the face becomes vichitra. So then you distract them. You show them sky, bird, tree, something. You show them. They straighten their face,
Mm.
and the thought that of that dukkha that is coming to them goes away. So once I realized this, I did this experiment on myself.
Mm.
So whenever you feel very upset or something, and you want to control your cry, you don't want to cry. When that your face is about to contort, when anybody cries, their face contorts, right? It goes the wrong way. So you straighten your face
Mm.
like magic. Within fraction of a second, the thought which is giving you that emotion goes away in your mind,
Yeah.
and you become centered. So the way of tantra is you always control your body to control your mind. That is the
Mm.
magic, the trick. You control your body, you control your mind. So that is facial discipline. So that is also should be centered, because face is the window to the world. All your senses are here. So your face should show that discipline and grace and pleasantness.
Mm.
Even though it is plain, it should be very.
Yeah.
So that has to be practiced. And you can practice it by keeping your eye centered. You can just focus on one point
Mm.
somewhere in space, speaking. and just focus on one point and speak. So eyeballs are also centered.
Yeah.
And third one is speech discipline.
Mm.
Speech discipline is when you speak from the center of the mouth with proper diction and speak the right things. In speech, there are two things: how you speak and what you speak. Both are important.
Mm.
How you speak is from the center,
Mm.
and what you speak is there are, you should not speak rubbish and nonsense like what we speak all the time. We are either gossiping or we are complaining or we are, speaking whatever meaningless things which has no meaning, which is not evolutionary, or we are abusing, we're using derogatory words, we're using many, right? We're not speaking right things. We are supposed to always speak the pure principles, the satya, the truth of the multiversal truths and facts. You're supposed to praise the higher and divine, the higher beings, and certain things that you speak, evolving affirmations, everything that is evolving and positive, to speak only that from the mouth.
Amazing. So this was just amazing and I loved it, ma'am. So thank you so much for this. So now when we come to the last part of this episode, that will be rapid fire questions. So are you excited for this, ma'am? Amazing. So
Yes, yes, look forward to your question.
let's go for it. Spirituality or success?
Spirituality brings success. So it is spirituality.
Mind or consciousness?
Consciousness, yes, we have to listen to our consciousness and act according to our consciousness. So, yes, consciousness.
Discipline or motivation?
Discipline, because motivation fades away. Discipline will sustain us.
Right. Silence or music?
Yes, music, sound, because nothing is silent. Like I said, Vedic is all about speech, sound.
Meditation or manifestation?
Meditation. Through meditation, you can manifest.
Peace or power?
Peace. There is
E-
power in peace.
right. Ego or awareness?
Awareness, of course. With awareness, ego is self-sabotage. Yes.
Attachment or freedom?
Freedom, definitely freedom.
So now, thank you so much, ma'am. This is the end of our episode. It was just amazing, wonderful. Your thoughts and what you shared was just mind blowing. Thank you so much. So, what is your last message that you would want to give me as well as the audience?
One would like to say that it is the times are changing right now. It's a good time to work on our evolution, come back to our roots, Vedic roots, understand where we stand, what is our state of being, and make progress in our from the spiritual point of view as well. I think up until now, humanity has worked a lot in terms of all these whatever success in terms of your career and all of that things, whatever people had ambitions, other fulfillment. I think it's time for all of us to work towards that, because the times are changing. We have heard of this new world order that is coming up. There's a lot of changes happening in the social aspect in society, political, financial, economic, every on all spheres things are changing. So why not change in the spiritual part of it as well? Because that is what will bring the real progress. And there is also talk of there's a new divine world order coming where things will be more natural as per multiversal laws, and we can prepare for it, we can align with it, we can make what do you say, peace with it and go forward in that spiritual journey. That is what the spirit is yearning for. So I grateful that I got this opportunity to spread this knowledge, and look forward to being back sometime in future if need be. Yes. And yes, and lastly, I would also like to say to your viewers, like appreciate, like you said, if they commented on, they have any they didn't understand anything, also they can comment. If they understood, also they can comment, and yeah, we can keep in
Yeah.
touch.
So thank you so much, audience. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this amazing, the views, the breakthroughs that you gave. So looking forward to have you in my next episode. Till then, take care and goodbye.
Yes, yes. Shubh Narayana.